Sunshines! Today we're doing a good old-fashioned book review. The books I want to talk to you guys about today are the trilogy of books that is Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After. I don't yet own Isla. I'm waiting to buy it till it comes out on paperback in this version of the cover. I think it might be out now, so I really do need to get off my butt and go get it. Okay, so first of all, this is sort of a trilogy. It's more of a companion series. The books technically are standalone books, but they read really well and almost read better if you read them all together or in order together. Okay, so I want to jump in a little bit to each book, tell you a few of my favorite things about it, a few of the things I wasn't crazy about, and then at the end I'll tell you how I felt about the whole series. So first up, Anna and the Boy Next Door. So this book really sucked me in at first. I couldn't put it down. I blew through it. It's about Anna. She lives in the States. Her parents decide in her senior year of high school to ship her off to the School of America in Paris, basically a high school for American students in the city of Paris. And even though her life was going really well in the States, she was happy. She had a job in a movie theater. She was sort of crushing on a guy. Things were looking up. She had a best friend. Life was pretty good. They ship her off to Soap, as it is affectionately referred to as. This book follows her and her friends that she makes, Meredith, Etienne, who she ends up sort of developing a really good relationship with, Rashmi and Josh, and kind of her adventures being alone, being on her own in Paris in a foreign country. She goes to a lot of movies. She wants to be a reviewer one day, so she writes reviews. She writes reviews and posts them online, which I think is really cool because it shows that she's confident enough in herself to go on a date with herself to a movie. Overall, I really liked Anna. I thought it was an amazing start to the series. There were so many good moments throughout it, good dialogue. The reason I really loved this book is because the characters were real, the dialogue was genuine, and it really felt like being in Paris, which is really cool. I believe I gave it a 4.5 stars on Goodreads because I really liked it. I can't give everything a 5. You just can't give everything a 5. The next book, however, Lola and the Boy Next Door, was absolutely my favorite of the three. No questions, no doubt about it. What I love about Lola is that she reminds me of who I used to be back when I was like growing up into my like 18-year-old me. I wore whatever I want. I believed that fashion was a statement. It represented you. I still believe that, but I was way more exuberant about it, and I miss that about myself, and she made me remember how much I miss that about myself. She's a quirky dresser. She's a quirky girl. I loved that her dads were a gay couple, and that it was just there. It wasn't, attention wasn't brought to it. It wasn't weird. It wasn't awkward. It was just totally normal. The boy who ends up moving in next door used to live next door. They rented off the house because the girl that lives there, one of the twins, Calliope, is a world-renowned ice skater who then is off tour, so the family moves back in next door, and Cricket is her twin. Cricket and Lola sort of used to have feelings for one another but never really acted on them, and so it sort of rekindles this old flame. The stuff that happens between her and Max, her boyfriend, is really genuine and really like realistic. He's older, she's younger, just kind of this love mess that's really interesting and really genuine. I thought it was written really well. I like how real Lola is as a character. She has genuine flaws. She is really prideful and conceited and selfish in a lot of ways, but she's really genuine and thoughtful and loving in a lot of other ways. And I thought that she was a likable, really lovable character, and other times I just wanted to slap her. A lot of Lola is family stuff that happens, which is sort of refreshing for a romance book to be more focused on life happening and family things and things that happen to her and things that happen to Cricket and things that happen with Max, and it's just really interesting. Really love Lola. I gave Lola 5 out of 5 stars. One of the reasons that you sort of should read the other books if you're reading this series is because the characters sort of intertwine with one another. Lola lives in San Francisco. Anna also lives in San Francisco when she is not at Soap, and works at the movie theater that Lola attends and ends up sort of working at for a time. And I really love the crossover. I think it's really delicately woven and genuine. like it's believable. The third book, Isla and the Happily Ever After, unfortunately was not my favorite book out of the three. So Isla and the Happily Ever After follows Isla and Josh. They also attend soap in Paris. Isla is always like Josh. They sort of run into each other over a break of some sort from school in New York and sort of kind of say hi and like make a connection of some sort. When they are back in Paris at school, the scene has sort of been set for them to communicate with one another, become friends, and ultimately become in a relationship. That is not a spoiler because it is on the back of the book. Overall, there were definitely some things about Isla that bugged me, some of her actions that bothered me, some of her actions that she took. If I had been Josh, I would not have been that patient with her. I just didn't find her as relatable. I didn't find her to be as well-rounded of a character. I didn't find Josh to be as well-rounded of a character. I thought he was kind of two-dimensional. I don't know. It was good. It was good. I really liked Isla. I did. I really did like Isla. I just didn't like it as much as I liked Lola and Anna. One thing that I really loved about Isla, and I think that Stephanie Perkins is just really good at this in general, is the way that she wove the other characters from the other two books into Isla in a really prevalent and really just pivotal sort of a way. It's really special the way that the other characters from Anna and Lola take part in the story of Isla, and I think that's really cool. I also can't help but call out the fact that just like Lola had gay parents and it was just a thing that happened, it was totally normal, it was not a big deal, it was just part of life. Isla has a best friend whose name is Kurt and he is autistic. One of the things that actually bugged me a little bit about Isla, the character of Isla, is that even though they're like BFFs from like childhood, when Josh sort of comes into her life, she sort of starts to forget about Kurt. I didn't like that about Isla. It bugged me. Isla, that was rude. But I did like that Kurt was autistic and that it was just a thing. It wasn't like a big deal. It was just part of who he was. I do appreciate that fact that Stephanie Perkins is able to take those traits and somewhat controversial issues, if you will, and make them really real and really relatable and really genuine. Yeah, I mean, definitely read Isla because the ending is so worth waiting for. The ending is amazing. Don't read Isla if you haven't read Anna and Lola. I loved Lola. I gave Lola 5 stars. I gave Anna 4.5 stars. I gave Isla a 4, maybe a 3.5 stars. I think I maybe gave it a 4. I don't really remember. It wasn't my favorite. It was a little slow. The characters weren't as robust, I didn't think, but I loved the ending. It was worth it for that. Overall, I loved the series. I loved it so much. I think you guys should definitely check it out. I think Stephanie Perkins is a fantastic writer of real people, real characters, real situations, real settings. I feel like her storytelling is very genuine, and I can't wait to read whatever she might come out with next. Definitely worth checking out. Read the books. You won't regret it. They're fantastic. And do check out my Goodreads. It will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!